Hey guys, thanks for watching. It's lunchtime and I thought I'd share with you something that Prophet Makadndiwa taught me about family, about honoring your parents, about respecting your parents and showing honor to them. So actually one of the elders from his church, UFIC, told me this story. And it goes like this. One of the top partners in Prophet Makadndiwa's church, top partner in terms of money, in terms of giving time, resources. So he gave a lot. This one guy, he would give a lot, and there's this one time he gave Prophet Makadndiwa a really expensive Benz. Now this is a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, and he gave Prophet Makadndiwa a really expensive Benz. And Prophet Makadndiwa, being a man of prayer, he didn't feel right. And then he called some of his senior pastors and he said that, you know what, I don't feel right about this car. Could you maybe go and do an investigation? The Spirit of the Lord prompted him to do an investigation on this man's parents, the guy who gave the car. He said, go check out where his parents live, how they live, if everything is good there. So they went to this guy's place. To this guy's parents' place where they live, and it was like in shambles. It was a terrible place, but this guy was giving lots of money and lots of gifts to the church. So then after bringing back this report that the parents lived in terrible conditions, the roof, one of those thatched houses. This guy was probably staying in like Borrowdale. I mean, he could afford to give an expensive Benz, so he was living a pretty lavish life. But his parents were living in squalor and in disgusting circumstances. So these guys brought back the report to Prophet Makadndiwa, and he's like, you know what? From now on, whenever this guy gives an offering, a tithe or partners, I want you to use that money to go fix up his parents' place, to go fix up where they live. Here in Zimbabwe, we call it kumusha. But this place was just badly maintained, and this guy really wasn't taking care of his parents. So whenever a partnership came in, including that car, so Prophet Makadndiwa sold that Benz, and he channeled the money that he raised from that Benz towards this guy's parents' house. So for like the next year or 2 years, every dollar that this guy brought in, whether it be tithe, whether it be partnership, whether it be anything, Prophet Makadndiwa would send this money straight to the renovation and reconstruction of this guy's parents' house. So after like the duration and after some time, Prophet Makadndiwa instructed his senior pastors to take this guy to his parents' house. So, but they didn't tell him where they were going. They're just like, no, we're going somewhere with you. Please come with us. And the guy just went with the senior pastors. And then, as they were traveling, he started realizing that, no, they're actually going to where I live. But when they got there, right, the place was completely renovated. It looked beautiful. It looked clean. Instead of thatched huts, now there was like a proper house, and his parents were living in splendor. And when the guy got there, his dad and his mom, they ran out to him and they gave him a hug, and they were like, "Ooh, thank you so much for taking care of us, our son. The renovations you've done are great." And so because Prophet Makadndiwa had instructed his team to tell them that it's your son who's renovating these things, who's renovating your house, who's doing all these things, renovating your garden and all that, who's putting proper plumbing, putting solar electricity and all these, it's your son. So the parents started thanking their son, hugging him, kissing him, falling on his neck. And then this guy just broke down and started crying, and he started weeping, and he started bawling because of the shame he felt. And a lot of people do a lot of things for complete strangers, complete people you don't even know, people you don't owe anything. a lot of people are kinder to strangers than they are to their own families. And I want to challenge you today, man, that whoever's watching this, that you just be good to your parents. I've said this before, man. The only reason you should appreciate your parents and honor them is because they brought you into this world. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. And it's something that the Word of God instructs us to do. Listen, man, I want to challenge you, ladies, men, whoever's watching. I want to challenge you to buy your parents gifts. Mike Murdoch says something interesting. He says that a lot of guys are more likely to spend on their women in 1 month what they have not been able to spend on their parents in 20 years. You know, so excited about spending money on people, but never your own parents, and it's so wrong. And I challenge you to start honoring your parents. As Benny Hinn says, that the order of priorities in his life is simple. It's God first, family second, and ministry third. He learned this lesson the hard way, but I hope that you won't learn it the hard way. Thanks for watching, and remember to honor